Alright guys, Jameson and Alex here. Today we're going to be talking about the path of the Muscle Wizard Barbarian from Valda's Spire of Everything. So we're starting a new round of these subclasses. There's so many on here. But if you're new to the channel or subclass series, what we're going to do is go through all the abilities gained in the subclass. We're going to rate it based on its roleplay value, combat value, and overall class synergy based on how the abilities gained in the subclass improve on the base class abilities. That's right. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to be entered in our D&D Beyond Players Bundle giveaway.
We do like to give away free stuff.
And of course, thank you to our sponsors, Hit Point Press.
Yes.
Make sure you check out their Humblewood box set, cards, handouts, all the stuff you need to have a fun.
And everything in there is, you can tell they put a lot of time and effort to make a really quality product. It's not just a bunch of stuff that's in there.
Right.
It's of higher quality than average at the very least, if not elite quality. And so stuff like those cards in there are amazing.
So definitely worth a look. Make sure you check out the link down below. Help us out. Help them out. And let's get right into it. Alex. Muscle Wizard.
Okay.
Barbarian.
Starting off at level 3, we have unarguable wizardry. Your unquestionable legitimacy and immense pectoral muscles give you advantage on intimidation checks made to convince others that you are in fact a wizard, because they don't believe you. Additionally, if someone questions your legitimate magical prowess, you can instantly fly into a rage for 1 round, because you just can't handle being questioned like that. Mm-hmm. This rage can't be extended and does not count against your total number of rages that you use throughout the day. While in this range, you can also attack the creature that provoked your ire and the creature's allies. So if somebody irritates you enough, you can just run up there and just wallop them just for doubting your magical prowess.
But it has to be on them or allies. You can't just attack any random person because someone insults you.
That's right.
So, target of your insult.
That's right.
Also, level 3, we have our cantrips. You can call upon your magic to cast cantrips. You can use the following cantrips. Number of times equal to your strength modifier. You're going to see lots of these because, equal to your strength modifier. You can regain all expended uses when you take a short or long rest. While you are raging, you can cast your cantrips at will. Using them doesn't count against the number of uses per long rest. So essentially, you have uses per long rest. Mm-hmm. But if you're raging, you can cast these all the time. So with your
that's not even in the book.
So you have 3 options on here. First is Mage Hand. As a bonus action, when you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack on your turn, you can use your hand, and you are a mage after all, to attempt to shove the target over. The target must make an opposed strength check against you. If your strength check is higher, the target is knocked prone. So you have a bonus action way to knock stuff prone.
Yep.
So always a good thing on there. Even if you have reckless attack, it's still good.
Yes.
And we'll get into that later in detail.
That's correct.
Shocking Grasp is your second option, which is a bonus action. When you make an attack on your turn, you can hit your target even harder than usual, a fact which they will find quite shocking. You see where this is going.
Goodness.
On a hit, the target can't take a reaction until the start of your next turn. Okay, I'll take it.
Yep.
And finally, you have True Strike. As a bonus action, when you make an attack on your turn, you can really, truly strike your target. On a hit, you deal an extra 1d8 damage to the target. So, some nice bonus action uses for your cantrips.
Also, at level 6, you have spells. By 6th level, your magic is powerful enough to cast every spell that exists, and no one can or will prove otherwise without broken ribs. However, you can only prepare the following spells today. Each of those, you can cast these spells once and recover all expended uses when you finish a long rest. You have Burning Hands. Your backhand slap is legendary. As an action, on your turn, you can make an unarmed strike against a creature, and each creature within your reach. On a hit, this attack deals bludgeoning damage equal to 1d8 plus your strength modifier. So essentially, it's like a whirlwind of slaps, all within your melee range. That's where I'm thinking, okay, can you play a race that gives you extended reach or something
to bugbear?
So you can just slap a bunch of stuff more
a little bit more effective.
It'd be more fun. Anyway, small tangent. That wasn't too bad of a tangent, though.
It makes sense. But again, a reminder, it is once per long rest, each of these. So, I don't know if you really want to pick your race.
Based on that.
You get once per day. So,
it work for your melee weapons and stuff, too. back in lane.
I had to get tangent further off.
Yeah, makes more like a normal tangent. Magic Missile. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can use your bonus action to make a ranged attack using a weapon you are holding. Because Magic Missile never misses, you have advantage on this attack roll.
All right.
Can't wait till you miss with that. Oh, it's going to be great. Like, wait a minute. Shield. As a reaction, when you are targeted by an attack, you can quickly produce a shield to defend yourself. You gain the shield's bonus to AC against this attack, even if you weren't holding it before. If you are hit, you can reduce the amount of damage taken by 1d12 plus your Constitution modifier.
There you go.
You got a bunch of health, but it's there. Also, at level 10, you have magic resistance. You're such an amazing wizard that other wizards can't even touch you while you're raging. You have resistance to damage from spells.
There you go. Always take that.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, we have our capstone at 14. I cast Fist. You can crush your enemies with your ultimate spell, Fist. While you're raging, you can use your action and bonus action to punch your foe really, really hard. Make a melee attack roll with advantage against one creature within your reach. On hit, you deal bludgeoning damage equal to 8d8 plus your strength mod. Once you use this feature ability, you can't use it again until you stop raging and begin a new rage. So, if you really needed it, you could just stop your rage and then re-rage, get it back.
Yep.
All right, but those are all the abilities gained in the subclass, so we will move on into the rating portion of the video. First up is Roleplay Value, asterisk as always. When talking about Roleplay Value, we're talking about interacting with the world around you, interacting with NPCs, non-combat scenarios, avoiding combat, basically things outside of initiative order. Not talking about your class fantasy, history, lore, background. That's on you as a player. We can't rate you, but we can rate the abilities gained in the subclass and how they might improve your potential in those role play scenarios. So, all of that being said, looking at the subclass on here,
yep,
you'll notice a lot of the stuff is dealing with raging.
Yep.
And when you make an attack, you can do X or Y or whatever. That being said, there's not really a whole lot going on in the roleplay department when it comes to features that are going to help you in roleplay.
Yeah.
You do have your wizardly persuasion, but that is very niche, considering you can only do so much with that, and it's how often is it going to come up? Not sure.
And about the only other thing is it does allow you to rage as part of that, which gives you advantage on strength checks. So whereas there are some things that maybe you're able to pick up and throw something because just in general you're mad about it.
Right.
You know?
So you can maybe do some stuff with some party members, like egging you on kind of thing, but it is what it is. We gave it a 1.5 out of 5 in the roleplay value.
Very, very small bump.
Yes.
On to the combat side of things. It is a barbarian, so in general rule, we're probably going to be focused more on that side of things. There are exceptions, and a lot of those end up being, I think, some of the better barbarian subclasses, because almost all barbarians are good with combat.
Yep.
It's a general rule. Like, barbarians, fighters, they do combat.
That's their thing.
And they do it really well. So, first of all, you're getting your cantrips things, and this is really what's going to be, I think, the meat of what this subclass operates around.
Yeah.
Is because while you're raging, you can do these all the time.
Right.
What makes it great, and this will play into the synergy side of things, is that as long as you're raging, you can just keep doing these. And it gives you a choice for what you can do with your bonus action in combat every turn, because normally with barbarians as a base, once you use your bonus action to rage the first time, what the fuck are you doing after that with bonus action? Not much. Not much. So, the fact that you have 3 different options, one, you can knock somebody on their butt, which is a melee character. You love that. Especially if there's another, fighter, paladin, rogue, anybody else doing melee stuff in your group, monk. Happy times. Also, the choice, once you find out something maybe has a really good reaction besides just opportunity attack, you use your bonus action to take away their reaction. It's always great. Yeah. Probably the thing that Jameson and I harp on the most, and him specifically being, our primary DM in our group, is that the action economy is really what try to balance in combat's the hardest thing to do in terms of being a DM and figuring out how that's going to work. So if you as a player can give up your bonus action to take away the only thing you're fighting's reaction every turn,
that's huge.
That plays into your favor significantly. And then if you really just want to clap in the extra damage, it's never a bad thing to do more damage, because the more damage you do, the faster whatever you're hitting dies.
Right.
The level 6 spells things, there are some interesting opportunities, but I almost feel like the level 3 and level 6 things should be swapped, because I feel like they hold longer than besides the level 6 bits are only a once per day use.
Right. It's a little weird.
I don't know why it's at least once per short rest.
Or even like a strength mod usage or something.
Yes, or strength mod use per day or proficiency bonus use per day.
Scaling.
Because the whirlwind thing is 1d8 to a bunch of targets, but they've got to be within your melee range. It's the same concept we have with other things that you can hit any number of targets within your range. Okay, 5 feet. It's
right.
Is it ever more than 2? No.
Well, and that's the thing.
Is it rarely 2? Also, yes.
Right. So the thing is too, it's using your action. You're not taking the attack action, which means you don't get extra attack.
Yep.
So it has to be at least 3 targets for it to even be worth your while, because otherwise you could just have extra attack.
Yep.
And make it, second attack on the second target.
Yep. Magic Missile, okay, you've got a bonus attack, bonus action range attack, which is good. Barbarians really struggle with range, but again, it's once per day, so, okay. You get advantage on that attack, great. And then Shield, just a chance to get, negate an attack, and if you don't, I do like the fact that it gives you a bonus if it doesn't negate the attack, it also does reduce the damage coming through, which is great. Then we get to the other thing that's really, really fun. Resistance to magic damage from spells.
That's massive.
That's ridiculous, because a barbarian, you get it built into your rage that you're already resistant to DPS damage, so now spell damage is
pretty much a physical and magical damage resistance.
Yeah, so you become just really, really thick and tanky, which is amazing. And then a cast fist is essentially is that what arcane hand damages or I
think it is 8d8. I think it is, yeah.
So it's basically that once per rage.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
arcane hand stays up and you can keep doing it.
Correct. It does take your action every turn, but this doesn't take a spell slot, doesn't take concentration to maintain. It's easier use without having to, but you can also proc it any number of times you are able to re-rage.
Right.
So there's ways you can do that several times a day. So
and it's another thing too is barbarians don't really have like bursty damage. So
right.
It's just like a big burst of damage right off the bat.
Yeah, like your barbarian, your ranger, your monk are all about just like consistent high floor, low ceiling damage. Of course, they do get brutal critical. Can you imagine brutal critical? This thing?
I mean, some gross things.
That's going to hurt. So, there's a lot there. The only real limitations, really, that we didn't like were the fact that the spells at level 6 are only once per day. If those were more often, we have a hard time not scoring this really, really high, but we still gave this a 4 out of a possible 5 because giving you bonus action uses all the time, lets you knock something prone. There's plenty of utility. There's extra damage. That doesn't really get in the way of what you're trying to do as a barbarian. Anyway, just gives you more options and more versatile things, and it makes you stay alive even better, which is kind of stupid.
Yeah. Speaking of all that, kind of transition into synergy.
As we usually do.
It's just how it works. So, with the extra survivability that Alex was just talking about, it does help in your barbarian. So you already have the most health of anyone already.
That's right.
So, the thing is, one of the biggest weaknesses to barbarian, and I say weakness with a grain of salt because they have so much health.
Yep.
That's a big buffer in and of itself.
Yep.
But one of their biggest weaknesses is magic damage.
Yes.
Because they have BPS resist while raging.
Yep.
And eventually, like early on, rage, you have to be a little bit more careful to use it, but when you get higher levels, you can pretty much rage almost every combat because it's very rare that you have, 6, 7, 8 combats a day, so every once in a while you might have to think about it, but in majority of circumstances, you're probably going to be raging pretty much every combat, which means then you now have BPS resist and magic resist, which is going to make your survivability go way up.
Yep.
So if you ever were questioning your survivability already, which you should have the least worry of anybody about that, you even have less reason to worry about
It's basically you and Moon Druid. That's that's the S tier of survivability is Barbarian and Moon Druid.
Yeah, base Barbarian.
Yeah, base Barbarian. But now you're like, oh, now I get magic resistance. Like I've created my own new tier called S+, and this is this guy.
And that's the thing too is with magic resist, it's almost like with Totem Barbarian getting resist to everything, because BPS and magic is like the vast majority of everything. So that's.
And there are going to be certain attacks that give elemental damage. Right. Obviously, like if it's like a dragon has a breath weapon, you're not going to get that because it's not a spell effect. But still,
is it magical? That's always the debate.
But this does say from spells. It doesn't say magic damage. This damage from spells. Right. That's there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference between magic damage and damage from spells.
Absolutely. So all that being said, it does give more to your survivability, which is good. And then you're having a lot of synergy with your raging. You're getting your options with your bonus actions. You're getting the little free pseudo rage thing. You're getting some internal synergy with those. So you get lots of extra stuff that you can do. Bonus action options every turn.
Yep.
The only other time you're really going to be using bonus action is for your rage, or if you are 2-weapon fighting, you can bonus action with your offhand. But most times, as a barbarian, people are using two-handers.
Yeah, because when you want those crits,
great weapon fighting,
you want that two-hander. Yeah,
they go into two-weapon fighting.
The great sword, the
times.
great axe, absolutely.
So most of the time, it's going to be nice to have extra bonuses. And you might be thinking, well, knocking prone is fine, but I already have reckless attack. The other thing of prone is it helps other people, and it doesn't make you as vulnerable, not vulnerable, like vulnerable to damage, but easier to take damage.
You don't have that cost. There's no risk involved with that.
And it takes the creatures half of their movement to get back up from prone. So even just that could be worth it, depending on circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
So there are other uses besides just helping you. So it definitely is a nice option to have. And just giving you more utility as a barbarian is really helpful. They usually don't have utility. They usually just hit stuff until it dies.
Yep.
So you have some of that. And then also getting within reach of stuff. So being able to knock stuff prone can give you some stuff like if you can jump up or get up to hit something that's in the air and knock it prone.
Yep.
That's going to help you get ground stuff. So if you have ways to do that, it's going to give you more utility, which is nice. So all that being said, I said utility like 16 times to get to a 4 out of 5 on the synergy, just because it's nice to have some extra utility.
Yes.
But that is going to be it for this one, guys. Yes. That's the key takeaway is magic, utility.
Yep. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Let us know your comments down below, what you think about Muscle Wizard Barbarian and its magic. Wonderful things that it can do. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Let us know videos come out that we produce. We want to keep bringing great stuff for you guys. Let us know what you want to see. Make sure to check out our sponsors, Hit Point Press. So many great variety of products, from the bundle to the monsters, all kinds of great material. So that'll do it for this time, guys. As always, thanks for watching.